Welcome to Translation Mysteries. In this video, I'll be using live footage from my Xenoblade Chronicles 3 stream. But first, I want to make one thing clear. Localization is an art, not a science. There's almost never a right answer, so these are just my opinions at the end of the day. With that out of the way, let's get into it. This will be sketchy? Yabe kamo na. This could be bad, this would be sketchy. The floor is shaking? Yeah, she said the floor is shaking? Question mark? Anyone feel that gets that across the same with the cutscene? Without the cutscene, it doesn't. But it's fine. And that part there, she could still help. In Japanese, it was actually ano eiseru nara, which is something that you can't actually translate because it's like half a sentence, but the rest of the sentence is implied. So she said, if we're talking about that eiseru, and then the information that comes after that is not actually written. Eiseru! 俺だ! コロニー9のノアだ! 以前コロニー14であんたに助けられたいい剣だって覚えているだろう Okay, yeah, so there it is possible from that particular context that Uni was trying to say, hey Noah, if that is the person we think it is, maybe you can convince her to, you know, stop shooting at us, basically. Good eye. Snuff this. He said in Japanese, are you serious? Yoshido means behind you. They translate it as 6 o'clock. We're sitting bunnets is obviously a creative translation. Okay. No plan B in English, but rashikunai means that's not like you, Noah. Which is why he's saying right now I didn't have time. That is pretty different. Because saying rashikunai, I think we knew this maybe a little bit already, but it implies that Noah is usually one to have everything thought out. I've got my eye on you is the same meaning, but he didn't use I in Japanese. So the English took advantage of the whole like I thing. Yeah, see? They're doing it again. They're saying a lot of stuff with I because of the I thing. But in Japanese he just said, I'll have a fine time following you or something like that. I thought maybe this translation saying the enemy's acting strange did convey exactly what was said in the Japanese, but actually, because in Japanese they said that the enemy is acting differently than before, it actually feels a little bit different because you could say that the enemy's acting strangely, but not based on... It doesn't have to necessarily be based on what they were doing before. In Japanese, it's more specific. Hey, they're doing something different than they were when they first started attacking us, so something must be up. It ends up not being really that big of a difference, but it is a little bit different. Naniga? Oh no. You can't actually say to read someone in Japanese. He used the word yomu, which means to read. So yomarete, yomareru is to be read. So that's actually a straight translation that still works in English. Not our friends. Ah! Oh, good save. Okay. Wake up Noah versus what he said, which was reisei ni naru. Nare. Reisei means to be like to think rationally, to think calmly. Wake up feels more like, it feels different for me. Like he's lying to himself or something. Whereas reisei ni nare is like, come on, bro, like use your head here. But it's not too bad. That's interesting. He was asking, what are you impressed about? As in, like, come on, we don't have time for this. But the English takes out the part where he's scolding her for being impressed. Saseru wake ne daro. You think we would let you? As in, you think we would let you heal? But in English is, that's a spark in shame? Okay. Mudada. This has nothing to do with this game, but one of the things that bothers me about the translation of JoJo is that when Dio or whoever does the like renzoku, what is renzoku in English? The consecutive punching, and they say muda muda muda. The muda they're referring to during that moment is obviously futile, but a lot of the translations you see will put useless. That really bothers me. I realize that it's close in meaning, but they definitely mean futile. The only thing left we have to do is take down this guy. The only thing left is someone who deserves a real thrashing. A little more flavor in English as always. Oh, Yurusane is your dead meat. I can't pause the game. Oh. Yurusane!
いやいやいや、こいつを送るっていくらなんでもおかしくないか。え、そうなの
okashi means weird or strange. I feel like the English is pretty close, saying like, you realize how messed up that is, but in Japanese he did say, isn't that kind of weird?
天然でいいんじゃね？多分深いこと考えてないよ。
そうすべきだからそうしているってか。わからん。同意する。
わからん means I don't understand, but weirdo, I guess. It's not for us to judge or something.
全然。
役名だから。Oh, we're on it, baby.
奏でられたかな。
I get excited about guessing the line, not only because it has to do with like knowing what the Japanese was, it's because every character in like a game or an anime or whatever has their own way of speaking, right? So for me, if I can get to the point where I can guess exactly how they would say something in addition to what they say, for me that's a feeling of understanding how that character is as a person. I understand their characterization. So it's not just like getting excited about getting the words right, it's about getting the exact phrasing right. Sorry, just had to explain my excitement.
でも、あの選択のおかげで今がある。すごいよ、君は。
一人じゃ無理だったさ。
What's interesting there is that she said it's because of that we're alive. In Japanese, she literally said 今がある. It's because of that a now exists, which obviously saying that in English it sounded kind of clunky, so they changed it to it's because of that we're still alive. But it is what they were saying in the Japanese. It's just not what they literally said. And then here when he said it was a team effort, in Japanese he said, I couldn't have done it on my own. I think I'd like to take a bath first, actually. Hey, Uni Love. Uni Love. I'm guessing that's her nickname for Uni instead of Uni-chan.
要するに、むちゃくちゃ怪しいってこと？
あ
あ。Muchakucha into Mega is fun. I feel like for Senna, her speech is very casual and sometimes a little tiny bit like slangy. And so then in English, sometimes she says stuff like mega. That makes sense to me.
つまりは女王の意向を各コロニーに伝え、管理、評定をするのが執政官だ。
何？女王に事情を伝えれば、もしかしたら理解してくれるかもって？
まあな。 望みは薄いだろうな。
This is like a very, very, very small difference, I feel like, but when she said that the queens would get the picture, the Japanese was 理解してくれる. And I feel like get the picture implies more of like the queen doesn't understand what's happening, and if she gets the picture, now she understands. Whereas 理解してくれる feels like a little deeper, as in like if we tell her what's going on, she'll understand why we're in trouble or like why there's trouble. It's very, very small, but I don't know, like it struck me as slightly different. I don't think it's something that they could have gotten closer to that easily.
南の地下水脈から外に出られます。君たちはそこへ。
ナミさんは。
私たちはここで敵軍を阻みます。
バカなこと言わないでください。無駄死にです。
Begging your pardon, he's nicer in English. In Japanese, he's just saying he's just saying what he has to say. That's all for now. There will be more videos coming soon, so if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to discuss the translations live, be sure to drop a follow on Twitch at BrooklynB_JP. We'll also be doing a translation stream of Yokai Watch 4 once I hit 200 followers, so all the more reason to hit that follow button on Twitch. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.